What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And yeah, it's been a while. The last video I made was when I sent these cards to PSA. And it's been a hot minute or two since that, because this order, and for those that didn't watch that last video, this is the biggest order I've ever submitted. 95 cards at the $20 bulk service, because PSA is not giving any specials right now while they are completely backlogged. These were sent on 6/5, so I made that video I think on June 4th or June 3rd. They got graded on 8/13, and I just got them back today, September 2nd. So it was 89 days. It was originally estimated to be done on September 22nd, so I guess they got done a little earlier, but yeah. And you'll see from the order, this is where like you forget what cards you sent in, and then you're like, oh crap, I didn't realize that guy was going to be this good back then, or the opposite. So a little bit of PC. You guys have been watching me long enough know I usually try to do about 10% of the order is just my own cards. I don't care what they come back as a grade. I just want them encapsulated. I also have a couple cards from some buddies. Roberto and Nate have about 12 cards combined in here, but this is primarily, I think 83 cards are mine. And we got a little bit of everything. We got WNBA, we got baseball, some Optic. So, right, I mean, it's, and how things have changed in the last 90 days. And I can pretty much, I would recommend, if I know there's a lot of Step in the Box fans from the baseball side that watch this channel along with his. And his video that he dropped yesterday, very short and sweet to fanatics and tops, that you could shove the cards up your you-know-what. I kind of feel the same way. I have not ripped anything except some Pokemon boxes over the last 3 months because retail is not worth it. Hobby box is ridiculous. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. If you are still buying something, let me know in the comments what it is that you're buying, because maybe I'm just missing something. But this, to me, like this batch of cards, the Optic, WNBA, a little bit of Donruss, Bowman 2025 was good. That's been it. Topps Chrome, garbage. Logo Fractor, overpriced. Football 2025, don't even get me started. We're not even in the big three yet of Optic and Prizm and Select. So it's been kind of weird to just not even have the itch to buy anything. I did like maybe a couple breaks just looking for PC, 49er, and Giant stuff, but even the breaks are getting like overpriced. You have to pay attention to those checklists, man. If like your card, I think it was one break I was looking at that the Giants were going for like $60. There are only 4 base cards and 1 autograph in there. I'm like, I'm not paying $60 for that. I could get those on eBay for $20. So it's been a weird spot. That's why you haven't seen many videos from me. Hopefully, things will change, and now that football season's coming up, obviously this is like perfect timing for these cards to get back. But let's just get into it. We could chat along the way. It's a big, like I said, kind of a random mix of stuff. I have seen most of these grades already because I had to get these up on eBay before making the video. And again, if you haven't checked out, click on the link below for my link to my eBay store. I know a lot of you guys buy stuff from me there, and yeah, it just kind of supports the channel and just kind of goes back into maybe eventually buying something. So let's get going here into some first WNBA cards. I bought a lot of these blasters, with the Caitlin Clark hype. And, unfortunately, ended up only getting a 9 on her base rookie. Got a 9 on her kaleidoscope insert. And then the only other 2 cards I sent in were the Cameron Brink Blue Velocities, were blaster exclusives. Got a 10 on that one. And then a 10 on Mrs. Brick herself, Angel Reese. Yeah, maybe next year they'll have, that special insert for that special guest they had thrown on the court a couple of times. That was hilarious. And I wish South Park would do an episode of that. But I guess that already stopped, right? It was like, what, five times they had something thrown on the court? That was pretty hilarious, gotta admit. So that was it. A little bit of WNBA. Then we get into some baseball. Did send in some Heritage High. Sorry, this is 2024 Heritage, because it was a very late 2024 release. So Jackson Merrill on the green border got a 9. PC card of Jung Hoo Lee, rookie for me, got a 9. And then we got Shota Imanaga, again, green borders out of 10. I was surprised that they at least get that 10 and this one here. That was the main one, the Skeens rookie, because sometimes Heritage is a real pain in the ass with the bordering. Sorry, with the edges, you know, because it's got the vintage feel and everything to it. But these came out okay, so not too bad there. So a couple little bit of Heritage. I'm not going to break these up by grade. It wasn't the greatest gem rate. But, or actually, you know what? Let's do that anyways. I want to see. So, because we did 10s here, 9s, 9, 9, 10, 10. Okay, so right now we're 50% because we got 4 and 4. So we'll try to keep that organized on the side here and recap at the end. I forgot. I don't know why I found like a random update hanger and just, you know, bought those in the local Fred Meyer. Got this Bobby Witt, the little blue variation of the Mystical. I sent that one in for 10. Also pulled this out, the Skeens rookie, everybody's favorite Stars of MLB, but the chrome version. So I got a 10 on that one. So, you know, whatever. It was a little hanger that paid for itself and a little bit more with that. So these are PC cards, but also kind of like, man, what was I thinking? Just to show, and again, for all my fellow Giants fans, when I sent this in on June 4th, we were, I think, a game or two behind the Dodgers right before the Devers trade. I forget what the Devers trade happened. Things were looking good if you're a Giants fan. And I've always been a fan of Ramos. These were his rookie cards from 2022 Topps Update. This is the short print. I got a 10. And then I was like, you know what? I got a little mini rainbow. Why not? Just send these in and get graded. See if I, just to have them. So it was like, okay, got a 10 on that one. Got a 10 on the rainbow foil. Good. Got a 9 on the gold. A 9 on the green foil. An 8 on the orange, which is nice. It's color match. And then a 10 on the rookie debut. So, you know, should I spend $20 a pop on these cards? What is this? $120 in graded cards? Probably not. This is one of those things where I was like, yeah. And I literally added these at the end because I was just like looking for more cards to add to the pile. And that probably wasn't the wisest move. But again, PC cards, not going to care too much. But, you know, these could have probably just stayed in a top loader and wait for Ramos to maybe turn things around over the next couple of years. But it is what it is. We all make those mistakes. This is another one, just a Bowman card, just a Giants prospect. Got a 9 on that one. So not thrilled with that. Charlie Condon, which right now for Bowman, we'll see a little bit later when we get to the autos. This is kind of perfect timing because it's September. We got call-ups coming up. I don't know if Charlie Condon's going to get called up to the Rockies. They suck so bad. They should be getting their 100th loss tonight to the Giants. Maybe they'll call him up just to get him in for the September. So I'm going to hold on to this one and wait for to see when he gets called up. And, you know, if you know, you know. If you dealt with Bowman, you wait till they get called up, and then you go from there. I don't know what the hell happened with this Slade Caldwell. This is a local kid from the Hillsboro Hops. I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm going to just go with this kid, see what happens. I got a 6 for crying out loud. I don't know. There was no dent on that one. I can't find out what's wrong with that one. Got a 9 on the regular chrome. Got a 10 on another regular chrome, which I'm keeping that one aside. And then got a 10 on the Reptilian, which I think is cool because he is on the Diamondbacks. At least right now he is. And that just whole thing goes together pretty nice. I also pulled a green Reptilian auto of his to 99. I sent that one in separate as an express thing for $50. It only came back a 9. Ended up just selling it for maybe 120. So didn't lose money on it, but didn't end up being as good of a pop as I had hoped. So we got the one loser 6. I think we have one other crappy grade later that we'll see. Let's see, where do we go next? Let's start with, let's move over to football here. We did send in 2 cards from Phoenix. Only did a couple blasters. These weren't great for retail, but Brock Bowers on the orange fade came back at 10, and Malik Neighbors on the laser came back at 10. So those 2 can't complain. Got a lot of Brock Bowers in this order, actually, just kind of by accident. But nice to have a position player in there that's getting a lot of good love, it looks like. Brock Bowers on the Prizm, so we're moving to Prizm now. Had a lot of success with Prizm in the last order. Base, Brock Bowers got a 10. Bonix came back, unfortunately, a 9 on the base. And then just one silver got sent in. Bucky Irving came back a 9. So not great there. Then we did some red, white, and blues, which I had a lot of success with in the last order, but we came back with the Ray Davis on a 9. And then also Bo Nix on the 9. And then at least McCarthy came in at the 10. So we'll see how this is going to be the kind of the wild card this year, right? It's kind of, we didn't see him last year. We'll see how he does this year. He's got a damn good offense there. We'll see what happens. Continuing with the Prizm, Ladidi McConkey on the green wave came back at 10. Then these were the green value pack parallels. I did really good with these last time. Killed it with the Jaden Daniels and all the QBs, rookie QBs that I pulled with the greens. It all came back 10s. This one, Prismatic, though, came back a 9. Jaden Daniels, though, came back a 10. And then the Fireworks, which have been really good to me, came back both 10s. So you got to hit the ones you really want. So the Jaden Daniels all got 10s. And the Bo Nix, obviously, they're still sell, but not for nearly as much. So let's make some room over in the corner there. And let's get this out of the way. And let's do what is this? Donruss. Let's do Donruss now. We did a little bit of Donruss. We got mega boxes, which were a pretty darn good deal if you were able to find them. Brock Bowers on the base, just threw that in there. Came back at 10. We were pulling a lot of Jaden Daniels on at a Donruss as well. 10 on the rookie Gridiron Kings, 10 on the Bomb Squad, and then we get into our Optic previews. Got a 9 on the Malik, a 9 on the Xavier. 10 on the Xavier Worthy, and then a 10 on the Michael Penix. And actually, yeah, we did really good with the preview pinks in this case. So Caleb came back also a 10. Jaden Daniels came back also as a 10. Unfortunately, only got an 8 on the green hyper. Oh, this is Optic. Okay, now this was meant to be in the Optic pile. Well, okay, we will skip it. We won't skip it. I just had them in the wrong order because they're meant to be Donruss Optic previews. Brock Bowers came back with the 10. PC card, nice color match here for Ricky Pearson, who I think is going to have a really breakout season this year with Ayuk out, and really not another alternative for wide receiver 1 on the 49ers, but we'll see how he does. Looking forward to him having a breakout. Romo Dunze on the preview red wave, again, also got a 10. Another Ladidi came back with a 10. Probably the best one of the previews, the Bo Nix, came back at 10. I think I pulled this out of my last mega box. And then we got some retro series back. We got a 9 on the Jaden Daniels, 10 on one of the Drake Mays. I think there's 2 of them here. Maybe not. Where'd the other one go? I thought I had 2. Maybe it was 2 I don't know. We'll see. All right. And then we got a 10 on the McCarthy and a 10 on the Brock Bowers. So it did pretty good for the paper, especially with the foil on these. So not bad. Actually, as I look at that pile over there, it's better than I thought. But I think we kind of come to earth a little bit with Optic. Optic didn't do so well as in previous years for me. Maybe I'm just losing my touch. But we threw in a base Jaden Daniels. That did come as a 10. We had 2 of these, but the second one came in as a 9. I don't know why. Sometimes you look at these, and they measure them and everything, and whatever. Sometimes the grader doesn't want to give it to you. The pink. So we did great on the Optic preview pinks out of Donruss, but on the true Optic pinks, not so great. So we got an 8. On the worst card that they get an 8 on. Then we got a 9 on Penix. Another 9 on Caleb. Did manage to get a 10 on Brock Bowers. Again, you could see Brock kind of almost, I think, all the Brock Bowers stuff came back pretty good. And another Ladidi came back a 10, is now in the blue hypers. Xavier Worthy, 9. Another Brock Bowers, 10. This guy must have really, the grader must have really liked Brock Bowers. Blue Hyper, Drake May, or Drake Maye, sorry, pronouncing that wrong. 9 on that one, and there were 2 of these, yeah, so I got a 9 on both of them. Probably just a little thin on the top there. And then this was a bummer. We only got a 9 on the Bo Nix. And then we get into some inserts. So again, got the Jaden Daniels as a 10. So, you know, getting the ones that are going to have the higher value. 9 on the Michael Penix. Light it up, which I really liked. What do they call this? The Temu Color Blast. And then a 9 on this one. And then these I was worried about, honestly. The Retro series, which I thought were cool, but they had the red back, which you're just asking for trouble. And even on this one, like, wait, this one a 10? Yeah, that one's a 10. But, like, that's a little bit of white there on that corner. So you know, again, you never know. It's all subjective. But I really was worried about these, but I said the hell with it. Let's throw them in there. Because these are a little bit, you only got one of these inserts per blaster, or 2 per mega box, 1 per blaster. So these weren't exactly just popping out everywhere, especially for the QB rookies. So that one came back at 10. JJ 9. This is the double JJ that I had. Okay, that one came back at 10. And then Marvin Harrison 10 for that one, even though that one looked like it was thick on the right side. But whatever, I'll take it. So there we go. That is all the football Optic. Now we get into some autos. So big mix here of Bowman prospects as well as just my PC cards. So on the Bowman side, so Walker Janik was a high draft pick. He was 28th overall, considered one of the best defensive catchers in the draft. I'm waiting to see if he's going to get called up for September. It doesn't sound like it, but I'm keeping an eye on it. So otherwise, you just throw this in the box and hold on to it until they end up getting called up. Speaking of call-ups, now this card has a little bit of a story. This is Jonah Tong. If you haven't been paying attention, he made his MLB debut a couple days ago. I think he struck out 6 for the Mets, won his first game. A lot of hype around him because as a Giants fan, he was a big fan of Tim Lincecum, has a very similar throwing style. I pulled this out of the last blaster I bought from Bowman. It was just bought it at Best Buy. There was one box left. I was like, I thought I was done buying. I was like, oh, what the hell, I'll buy one. Pulled this auto out of it. When I read about him, because he wasn't even a high draft pick. Look at that. He was drafted in the 7th round, 209. But he had a lot of this hype because of his pitching style, and it just sounded like he was going to be fast-tracked at MLB. So I took a flyer on it, went ahead and sent it in. This card's going now for over $500 because he just made his debut. I looked on eBay before filming the video just now, and I have this listed for $600. Buy it now. But I threw it up as an auction. Pretty confident this is going to sell for over $400. This is, for me, this is not where I hold on to this. It's a PSA 9. You know, I'm buying into let other people buy into the hype. From New York, pitcher, Lincecum, 99 auto, Bowman first. It's all the things you want other than the PSA 9 versus the 10. The 10s were going for $1,000. So this one card, if things go right, it's a 5-day auction. Then this will probably pay for a third of the order, if at a minimum a quarter of the order. So these are the kind of cards you're hoping to just. I didn't plan on this. I figured, oh, he's gonna have some hype, New York market, you know, keep it in the box, see when he gets called up. Had no idea when I sent this in that he was gonna get called up this year. So, and it looks like, at least from his first game, people are loving him. So hopefully he gets an awesome second start, which is the same day my auction ends, and you know, the price will inflate accordingly. But yeah, it got the 9 because it's a little thin on the right side. And I knew that, but I still wanted to send it in because, again, all the other boxes being checked. So that one, definitely a surprise winner. This one is a sit and hold. I don't know. This Gregory Barrios, I think, just got traded to the Indians. I don't know. It was a prospect deal. You know, this is the one where I just throw it in my box, wait to hear that he's being called up if he ever gets called up, and you throw it up on eBay that week. This one I didn't do any research on. Gary Gilhill. This one came back in 8, unfortunately. So it is numbered to 75. So whatever, we'll see what happens. That one might be a loser on that one. This one also was a late ad, and ironically being the paper version of the auto, which you don't see as often. So this is Charlie Condon, the kid on the cover of the box, number 3 pick for the Rockies. I'm hoping he gets called up, like I mentioned with the card earlier. Hope he gets called up for September, because what do the Rockies have to lose other than 30 more games? So if he gets called up, I'll throw this up there and let a Rockies fan pick that up for a premium, given that there's not many of those that are graded right now. So, and here we get into more of my PC cards. This is just a Matt Cain autograph. Again, Giants 49er fan, so I wanted to just start filling the gaps with certain players I didn't have yet. So Matt Cain had a 50 on card. I picked this card up for like $15. Came back at 8.5. Very rare 8.5. Again, don't really care about what the grade of these are. Case in point with this one, Brandon Crawford, just recently retired. Came back a 6. I always worry about these thick cards, but it's funny because some of these I've sent in. This is the triple threads, yeah. Some of these I've gotten 9s and 10s on, but I guess this one just sucked. Maybe the corners there. Whatever. Again, don't care. These are PC cards. I'm not selling these. Logan Webb, this is a rookie. This is a rookie card. On card auto. Picked this one up for like $20. Came back a 9. He's one of the more recognizable players on the team now, outside of San Francisco. Oh, this one's not PC. Well, it is going to be PC. Pulled this out of a hanger of Top Series 1, 2025. This is out of 50. Greg Maddux. I'm keeping this card. I hated him as a fan when I was younger because he was so damn good. But now, if you ever looked up the interviews between him and Bonds about talking about some of their classic matchups, just two of the guys the best at their position going at it. It's what baseball is so fun. So yeah, when I pulled this, I was like, I'm keeping this. So even I knew it was going to be chipped on the top right, top left. I didn't care. I've got the Professor in an out of 50, and it's in the the 1990 style, which I grew up collecting. With the last season I started buying baseball cards as a kid. So that checked a lot of boxes for me. So I'm happy to have an former enemy in my display case, because he's one of the best. Another PC card here, just the Brent Joes Spectra Super Bowl. I'm starting to like more of these Spectra Super Bowl signing cards. I think I'm going to start filling the gap more of all my 49er Super Bowls that have these cards, because I really like the look of them, and you can pick them up pretty cheap. Unfortunately, Spectra, cool looking design, very expensive set, but the singles aren't that expensive, honestly. So that one came back an 8, but again, don't care. Charles Haley on card. This was one of those random Panini. What was this from? I don't even know what set this was. It says Prizm. Well, maybe it was. Anyways, on card. Got an 8. Another Super Bowl related card, and this was the most random card. Randy Cross. He was the center for the Niners back in the day. This one got a 10. I bought this card on eBay for $5. I don't know. I just was like, hey, I'll take another 49er. From my day. I'm trying to just I want to fill up the entire offense from the 49ers dynasty and just have every position with an autograph. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to find offensive lineman autos like that. So that's it for all of my cards. And then we get into the couple of cards from my buddies. So Nate sent in 3 cards. But we got unlucky with this one because the JJ from Mosaic somehow came back a 7, and I don't even know where. I mean, the edges look fine. There must have been some surface scratch, maybe something on the back. Ding there. Oh, there it is. There it is right there. A couple dings on the corners. So that one came back a 7, unfortunately. So we're going to make room there. We got 6, 7, 8. And then we got a 9 on the second retro. So mine, I think, got a 9 or 10. But his got a 9. Again, when you're sending in multiple cards of the same type, make sure you look at the ID number. That'll tell you which one they are in what order. And then he did pull this out of a hanger, which this is a tough pull, the Pink Wave. But he got a 9 on this one. Must have been that top right corner. maybe on the back. Yeah, but still pretty decent, hard one to pull given the hanger boxes. So those were in Nate's. I'm going to put these to the side. And then Roberto, last but not least, and actually found out, I don't know what happened with this. They sent this card back. And Roberto, I apologize. Either I messed up the order and didn't actually add this one to the list. I got to go back and look at it. Or they missed it. But this was a Joker Prizm numbered to 35. And it just said it was extra and they sent it back on process. Which, okay, even if that was, I'll take the blame that I messed it up and didn't have the order updated. But come on, PSA. Give me an email, call me, and just say, hey, we saw there was an extra card in here. Would you like to have it graded? A simple email, I would have said, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, my bad. Instead, this card ended up waiting 90 days just to get shipped back when, you know, it could have come back, and for 20 bucks, I would have just done it. It was an honest mistake if that's what it was. Yeah, I thought this was going to come back with a clipped card, or, you know, they usually send these back when they're rejecting to grade it. But this was just, I guess I just messed it up, sent in the card without it being on the order form, and instead of them trying to just get 20 more bucks out of me, they just sent it back, which I think is kind of a dumb move, given how long it takes to get stuff graded. So, whatever, lesson learned there. Apologies, Roberto. Victor on the Blue Velocity, rated rookie, came back in 8. I'm going to put these on their own pile because these are not my cards. Maxi on the Glitter, very nice looking. Don't see these that often. Got a 9. And Roberto, if you can't figure out already, is a big J.J. McCarthy fan because he's also a Michigan fan, so he gets best of both worlds here. Bomb Squad came back at 10. He did pull this Caleb out of Certified, but it only came back in 8. This is numbered to 249. Another JJ, but a 6. That's right. Oh shit, I forgot about this one. I didn't even see how this was so bad. So we got 2 6s in the order. I don't see any creases or anything. Oh, there may be a little scratch up there. Maybe that's what it is. There's something up there. Roberto with a little thumbnail. That sucks. This, though, was your best, well, one of your best cards. But you got a 10 on this one, which I think this is all you want. Like when you send in, you know, 7, 8 cards, you want to... This is the one... Ooh. There we go. This is the one you want to come back. A 10. So you got the smiley face auto to 149. Not too bad. I don't remember anything about this guy, Drew Aller. This one came back a 9, though. It's not numbered. So there's that. And then this card was definitely the biggest card of the order. And I was hoping that we would get an upcharge, but we didn't. And it makes me wonder also, how do they grade these type of cards? So take a look here. You guys might remember. This is the Bobby Witt gold framed auto with the metal border. And it came back in 8. And I can only imagine, how the hell do they... It's not the edges. It's not the corners. There's no dings on a metal, right? You're not going to see any white. You're not going to see any, you know, any, what am I looking for? You know, any flakes off the side, right? So what was it, centering? Had to be something. But it came back in 8. Which I'm kind of bummed out for Roberto that it did, but it's still an amazing card. It's such an awesome with the double photo, and you know, got the on card, and just everything about this card is pretty cool. But yeah, kind of a bummer that it came back in 8. Always wondered how they grade these. So, anyways, that wraps up the order. So, pretty decent. You know, money wise for like my stuff. You know, there was a little bit more PC in here than normal, but if we bring everything back over here, let me get their stuff out of the way. I mean, from the cards that I'm looking to sell, at least we did get more 10s than 9s. So you're always hoping for that. Not as good as my last return, but, You know, not too bad. This is pretty much, oh, it is kind of right at the top. You can barely see here, but we weren't keeping a tally, but not too bad. Like I said, more importantly, the cards that hit, whether we did Jaden Daniels, most of those got 10s. Like I said, what was that guy's name? Yona? What's that dude's name again? Yeah, Yona Tong. This will be the surprise card of the entire submission, because this is a card, when you send it in, you got no idea that when it comes back, it's going to be, you know, 5-6x value, and that's what it looks like what's happening here. Just the timing got right, and there's not that many of these out there. Number one, it's numbered. Number two, maybe not everybody was sending these in back in June, because, you know, he was a 7th round draft pick, and unless you were really into prospect hunting and knew about his trajectory, maybe there's people sitting at home with this card. But if you've got somebody sitting in your Bowman box, you might want to get these out there and see, maybe have them ready for next season. So that was probably the one surprise. We'll see how the rest do. If you're interested in any of these cards, the ones, you know, that are not part of my PC or not part of my buddy's stack, check out the link below to the eBay store. Everything usually starts at 99 cents, 7 or 10 day auctions, and you can jump on in and you know, support the channel that way and pick yourself up a nice card for your collection. So anyways, other than that, I think we did pretty decent. It was nice to get these finally back after 89 days. Again, just to recap, $1,900, 95 card order. Should have been 96 card order, I guess, but I messed that up. And yeah, 89 days for bulk. That's pretty much looks like the standard right now for PSA. And let me know if you've had any better luck with PSA on your orders, or you've been sitting there waiting and seeing it in assembly or grading for what seems like weeks or months. But that seems to be where they're at right now over there, and maybe things will get better as we get closer to the end of the year. And as far as other cards in general, like Step in the Box said it, Topps and Fanatics and Panini, you guys can shove it. I'm not buying anything at these prices for hobby. Your retail products suck. I mean, honestly, I'm not even a big Pokemon guy, but at least the Pokemon stuff feels like it's a little bit more valuable, worth opening, and at least I'm trying to learn more about it. But let me know what you think in the comments. Where are you guys at as far as, you know, collecting right now? Or you just sticking to singles, which is kind of what I'm doing too. But again, thanks for watching. As always, maybe we'll get some more content here, but it really depends on how things are going. I've kind of drawn the line myself on what I'm willing to spend. But just kind of curious what you guys are at, what you're thinking, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, hopefully sooner than 90 days. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks. Catch you in the next one. Bye.